Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to our the final day of this game of Endless Legend. I am confident we will win here, but the optimization is still a good exercise. Even if it was 100% guaranteed, even if a time traveler came to me in the night and said, "Hey, I watched Friday's episode of Endless Legend. That's what I chose to do with my time travel, and I know that you win." Still, the optimization is a good exercise. So, we have a little bit of dust here. We could rush some stuff. Oh, okay, so it's reasonable to rush Arts Council here and just start building another burrow. I put the cargo dock down here, right? Okay, yeah, so a district in this position gets us more resources and also levels up the cargo dock. But a district in this position gets me some extra science and levels up this district. Yeah, that's fine. The one that gives us science is probably the right one to pursue. I'm wondering, though, I had 2,000 dust sitting when I ended the last episode. Was that because I was saving it for something? Sometimes there are discontinuities in the strategy due to the way that I record this game. Okay. But, on the whole, I think things are going pretty well. So, I do want to mention something. I have a correction to make. Was I banking for pillars? Hold on. How much time is left on these pillars? No, 5 turns. I just had dust left over, I think. So I do have to make a correction on something. I got corrected. Apparently, what I said yesterday about the AI's victory conditions was backwards. I thought that the AI couldn't make the wonder for the wonder victory. Pretty much just because I'd never seen them do it, which is not a good evidentiary strategy for deciding on whether things are true or not. But apparently they can, they just do it very slowly. And they cannot win a quest victory. They can just get on to the quest victory, but once they take the first step, or once they get the first level of the victory quest, they stop getting quest progress. So I was a little backwards. Kavad has broken our peace treaty. That's not a big surprise. We're allied with their enemy. They don't care for that. So, we need to keep taking stuff here. I'm wondering, you know what? 15% dust from your city is maybe not that significant. How much dust do you make here? Are you Daramard? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, given that we're actually having some serious problems with titanium, I think taking another point of mining authority is probably the way I want to go here. There's a limited amount of titanium in the world, and we are using all of it. Okay, 15% more science out of the capital is pretty good. Capital is our second most scientific city. There's not a very clean way to express this concept in English. Our second most sciencing. It does a lot of sciencing, but not the most sciencing. So I think we're just spending dust on Russian stuff. Again, I think... Well, hold on. How many strategics are available? So it is possible now for us to equip a book on somebody. Which means there is value in just picking up any hero and having them hold the book. I'm debating whether I want to do that or whether I want to... whether I want to have a little bit... be a little bit more patient. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the right thing to do is here. I do think we probably want to rush this here in Redalta. We don't have a ton of things left to rush that are super meaningful, but getting Redalta up to Fervent is nice. Then we actually still have a lot of money left. This is probably the next thing we use dust on, 25-45. I mean, we could rush this out right now. Right, we don't need any of this stuff. Yeah, let's just get that done, and then... Okay, this is what we need to be saving titanium for anyway. So we'll bank... We'll just bank influence, or bank industry here. Next turn, it's possible that we might be able to make the trade for some titanium. We should check in on Green and see if he would trade me titanium. Oh, he has a whole bunch, too. I just need, 11. Would love it if I would declare war on somebody. Obviously, not something I'm interested in doing. Who wants our 4 mithrite pretty badly? It looks to me like 5 mithrite might do it. I actually don't. I don't have the money to purchase a mithrite. We have something we could sell. Yeah, we'll sell all of those. And I'm not using the quicksilver at all. There we go. I will buy 1 mithrite for you. Step in here and make this deal. Oh no, the 5 mithrite doesn't quite cut it. Well, we can give him all 37 of our dust as well. That'll really sweeten the deal. Oh, except that I still need the... How much would it cost to get that Hyperium? 200? You know what I could do is I could sell a zealot. One of these, like, ocean zealots. Or I could just search this ruin. Nope, I got a quest. Well, shoot. Oh, that's a good quest reward. I'm back to these ruins with a naval unit. Where am I relative to my territory? If I made a boarding vessel in, like, Daramart or Noloran, we could maybe actually get over here. I would really like Dust Orchid. That is totally worth building a ship for. Except I can't start building a ship because they have strategics in their cost. And we're actually quite a few turns away from being able to build such a ship. So, time to pull this very fancy hydrofoil off of the ship. And instead, it turns out we can just leave that slot empty. If I'm not going to get increased movement, I don't get any value at all. Yeah, so we could just sell a unit. So I have another unit running around, right? Yeah, and you aren't actually really getting stuff accomplished. I'm just going to sell this unit. That's going to cover a lot of our costs right there. Let's get the 5 Hyperium. Get this thing in the queue. Some of this is organizational, if you're wondering why I'm worrying so much about this when I could just like hit next turn and roll the industry over that way. I'm afraid I'll forget, mostly. And like, it doesn't actually hurt us to do this work. This is like fairly important. We'll push through that at the beginning of next turn. Actually, I'd really like to have it for the coming turn. But I probably don't... I'm already pushing it on stuff here. I probably don't have the ability to make that. Is dye expensive? Dye is not expensive. Okay. Yeah, I think at this point, I'm out of stuff to sell unless I want to pop a zealot out of here and sell it. That would reduce our passive XP per turn by 1. Honestly, it's probably fine. What do we think? Are we thinking there's going to be maybe like 20-ish more turns, maybe a little bit more? Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice 20 XP on Tinu the Chosen to rush this now so that we have the boat moving next turn. Yeah. Okay. Listen, there's some ways that turn could have been optimized. I'm not going to lie. But on the whole, I think we're doing all right here. Oh, right, Dust Eclipse time. I believe that's what that lighting change was. Well, I should probably send some units out to do stuff with that. Do I have units anywhere except the capital? I do not. Okay. So I need to get down into friendly territory as quickly as possible. Just trying to be safe from marauders on the sea here. Chief Sapper gets another 2 science per district. Alright, we have lots of important stuff building everywhere. This is by far the best value per dust we're going to get right now. Imperial funding is just really, really good. Especially here in Holkaj, where almost all of the terrain has science on it. Okay, well, the reward that you get from this quest is, I would say, not great, at the earliest point that you can get the quest, and it's certainly completely meaningless now. Alright, so everybody's still building important stuff. We have our important buildings pretty much everywhere. I'm going to do a quick sweep here. So we still need an alchemy lab and an arts council here. I think Gonley has everything, right? Yeah. Holkaj still needs lenses and an alchemy lab. Kentamis is good. Daramard is good. And we're pretty much good here as soon as we finish that arts council. I'm going to put that there. I mean, we can just rush the arts council, but hold on. Before we go doing a thing like that, let's talk about how much titanium is on the marketplace. It's 3. That's not a very good amount. I would like to, obviously... I guess we can wait a turn. We're going to get some titanium in naturally. That's going to let us build one of the alchemy labs, and then we'll try to trade off of green for the rest of it. He certainly has a lot, and he doesn't seem to value it super, super highly. I mean, I guess he was like 2-to-1 trading it for mithrite. That's fairly high. Oh, except then I just didn't spend the dust. The dust that I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll use it for resources. So I should probably, actually spend it. Yeah, and then we definitely want to eject some units from the capital to search ruins, because this is just free money. Should not turn down free money, in general. Alright, Zarcha Atenol, do I think that you're going to get... Man. 2 more skill points before the end of the game. You know, probably not. Right? Yeah, probably not, actually. So we'll take the thing that's crummy, but that has some benefit right now. Here, we've just kind of run out of stuff to build. Alright, I'm going to send 1 unit out just to grab that ruin. And then they'll make it back next turn. I'm going to send another unit out to grab all the ruins in this direction. Starting here. There's not a movement conflux visible nearby. See one way over here. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. So here in All Around, we can start working on that advanced alchemy lab. Still checking the market for stuff. We are still fervent. I'm trying to make sure nothing slips. I have a bad tendency to let things slip. Okay, that is a temple. Okay, so we have a couple of searches we can fire off on that. This guy just needs to make it over to here. Yeah, it's not so far. Got ourselves 550 dust. It gets pretty significant, huh? Alright, so we'll pick up this movement conflux at the beginning of next turn, and that's going to take us through most of the rest of the ruins over here. And then Yurden is all the way out of useful things to build. So we can start in on the Royal Universities. Yeah, I think it's the only thing that makes sense. We could build units to try to fill garrisons, or build units for the purpose of selling them, like a very inefficient conversion of industry to dust. But I really don't think... As much as I don't think that let's just build science stockpiles is good, I also don't think anything else we might do is any good. Also, that was a lot of Hyperion. Well, we can probably trade some titanium off of him with that. Let's throw all that Hyperion on the table, because I think now we are out of places where we can build Imperial funding, right? Let's see how much titanium he'll give me for this. Is it 40? Would you do 1-to-1? He will do more than 1-to-1, in fact. Okay, 54. Not bad. That'll get me through all the stuff I need to do. And then we're just, finishing any building that looks like it matters. We still need to do an arts council here. You know, we could put up the mithrite extractor now. I think we have enough titanium for that to be a reasonable thing to do. Right, because we're almost done with titanium in almost every city. Redalta is good. I know I just did the check, but you'll be shocked to hear that I've already forgotten the results. Alright, we'll grab this water tile here, which temporarily has science on it, and then if we get another burrow, we can build here and pick up the Ursus village, which has 8 science. Okay, I have 5,000 dust left. Should definitely keep doing stuff. So over here we can rush out our Arts Council, and then the Burrow, which, of course, because we have Imperial funding, is actually pretty good. Any place where we can pick up more tiles is important. Am I running out of places to use dust for things that aren't finishing off industry stockpiles? I think I may be. We have that one arts funding left to go, but beyond that, still got the Nyctalopian lenses, I suppose. And if we were able to get more pearls after that, they would go into chapels in all the cities that don't yet have chapels. I know in a lot of places that's only going to be 1 extra point of population, but that is non-zero benefit. We don't have a lot of places left where we can get non-zero benefit. Speaking of getting non-zero benefit, we could just wait on this, but also we could not wait on it and instead have it right now. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, sure. Finish the extractor. Finish all this stuff. Sorry, do I have... Oh, that doesn't actually have an extractor on it yet. How did I not build on either of them? Well, that's an oversight. Again, there are elements of my optimization that are imperfect. On the whole, though, I think we're doing fairly well. What's our science up to? We are pushing... That number is low. I think we're probably seeing some boosters ending here. Hold on. Yeah, the Moonleaf. So what, we need 10 Moonleaf. Still no Dust Orchid, but we're about to go get some Dust Orchids. That'll be cool. Alright. 18-8. Still pushing up. Another point of value in favor of buying stuff out really aggressively is that you get levels on your heroes. Yep, that is your other skill point reporting, and Temok Rayan can just pick up industry. Now with these 2 skill points here, I could have gone over for Cold Operator. Probably, maybe I should have, because Winter obviously is going to reduce the effectiveness of that city, but crucially, Winter's not going to affect the science output of the city. Not directly, anyway. Winter does affect the science output of your cities indirectly, in the sense that it reduces your food, and so your population growth, and of course your population is very important when you're trying to generate resources, but... Actually, before you get back in there, there is a ruin here that I did not search. But at this point in the game, the food loss will probably be irrelevant, because we'll be most of the way done with our researches by the time the winter begins. Another 40 Hyperion. And then nothing. It's probably possible to turn up the movement animation speed. I'll have to look into it, because this is slow. Alright, well, we have a ton of resources now to trade with people, but we don't really need anything from people. Okay. Well, we have a ton of resources now that we can sell to the marketplace, is what we have. Is it more Hyperium? No, this time it was just dust. What's the going rate right now? So yeah, the 550 dust is worth roughly it's in the neighborhood of the same amount as the Hyperium. Of course, this price per 10 Hyperium is going to decrease over time. Oh, hey, there's 2 stockpiles here. Well, we may as well buy and use them. No sense not running stockpiles. I doubt it's going to have much effect at this point. Again, each of those stockpiles is an increase of less than 10% in our total science output rate. Well, in the neighborhood of 10%, because the stockpile value is being increased by 30% from our fervency. So, we could build the Throne of the Emperor somewhere, I guess. Probably that's not really worth doing. It would give us a lot of extra influence. You know what? I haven't been paying much attention to our influence. Where are we actually at here? 1795? So, like, what can we pick up in addition to all of our science? We don't really need the 25 approval. We have so many boosters running, so many useful boosters running, that approval is not really an issue anymore. And then the Arts Councils on top of that. So what else would actually be valuable? Like this stuff, I guess? Extra buyout reduction and then more money for buying stuff out. It wouldn't be terrible for us to get all the way down here and get 50% food, but that's an extra 3,600 influence, and the things on the way there are only kind of good. The extra movement's not bad. But, like, this would be cool. Are we on track to get that? 156 5 more times? So no. But close. But, like, even just this is fine. The thing is, I don't want to pull anybody off of science to get more influence, and I don't think that the trade route boost is, the trade route boost isn't actually going to accelerate our victory, so it's not worth chasing. Technically, over an infinite amount of time, obviously, it's better to build the industry buildings before getting back to building other stuff. But also, you know, we're not going to make any progress on this Royal University before the end of the game anyway. Yeah, I guess go ahead and build these. They're of non-zero value. Low, but non-zero value. Actually, no, they're probably of 0 value. We are running out of stuff that is worth building. Alright, let's go get a hero. I see a new Zarcha Atenal. Okay, I mean, Science Boost 1. So you get to go to the only city that does not currently have a governor. And you get this shiny new book. That's the wrong Zarcha Atenal. Alright. So we have to keep paying attention to our population growth. Anytime a city hits anytime we get the notification over here that a city hit a positive amount of population, we need to, oh, what am I doing? That should be done. We need to check in and build another borough. But aside from that, I think we're just on stockpiles now in most of the cities. Rush through this and start building a stockpile here as well, I suppose. A lot of these cities will never complete anything ever again. 6 turns for Dust-Driven Distillery is at least 18 more turns of total research then, because these are not going to be cheaper. And we're actually running out of ways to accelerate our science output. The Dust Orchid will be nice. Oh, it's showing 6 turns, but we have no pillars. Okay. That's maybe not a big deal. Now everybody in the world knows that we are 2 points into our science victory, so that's a little worrying. Somebody might try to mess with us. Somebody probably should try to mess with us. We'll see if it actually happens. Right, at this point, we can just give direct movement orders. We'll be in friendly territory the whole way. Okay, so let's sell off all of our superfluous resources and get ourselves a whole bunch of pillars. Cool, 40 more Hyperium, awesome. And then what else do we want to... I could send you over here. This other guy's pretty far south now, so we could just have you go and search stuff in Green's territory. I don't know how much time we have left in the Dust Eclipse, but some of this might still be available to me. And returning that unit to the garrison is probably not actually going to be meaningfully helpful. We could try to build the Reliquary of Auriga. That gives you a bunch of dust. But again, like it's probably not worth diverting my cities. Definitely need to keep growing you out. I'm not actually sure how many districts this city is supposed to have. Alright, so pillars. Obvious pillar positions. Places where we have good coverage. This will be a good one once that district finishes. So the next pillar is 1035. I'm just going to crash the price of Hyperium. Don't really need Mithrite either. Okay, so another 3k. This is a pretty good spot. And then we have pillars in every place around this city that is getting more, has more than one district adjacent, right? Oh no, that's a district. So that's right. This is also a good spot now. The next pillar would be 1595. We can make 1595 happen for sure. This one will probably go in the capital. And then we have some extra Quicksilver to sell. Some of those. We could sell a unit. Oh, hey, there's a science stockpile available. Well, that'll be available next turn, though. Nobody's going to buy that. At the rate we're seeing them appear... Oh, yeah, that's right. This stuff's valuable, and I don't need it anymore. So that's cool. Yeah, at the rate the science stockpiles are appearing on the marketplace, I wonder if another player is actually making them and selling them. Okay, so all that got a turn off of Dust-Driven Distillery. I mean, it matters. It's not the most important thing ever, but it matters. So we still haven't seen even a single victory notification for another player. I should probably check in on them. Well, we'll pop in and see we'll pop into the graphs area and see what everybody else is up to in a second here. Petrov Judit just keeps getting more science, and then we're getting yelled at. We've been vision and map embargoed. Well, the vision embargo has an effect. The map embargo really doesn't. The thing about a map embargo is it prevents me from seeing new territory that he gains vision of, but obviously that has no effect at this point in the game. Okay, it is probably worth getting these boosters running again. Do we need the approval? We need the approval of at least one of them. So what else ran out? Grass Silk ran out, and Dustwater ran out. Dustwater is definitely the more important of the two, but I see no reason not to run them both. The Grass Silk more than pays for itself. Alright, what event started? Oh, that event ended. Yeah, that's fine. And here we are under attack. I thought that I couldn't be attacked in allied territory by players who weren't at war with me. I thought it counted as my own territory. Clearly that is not the case. Which is not awesome, because that means that this guy has range to attack me again. And we're not actually going to have range to get to the thing, despite what it's telling us here, because these turbulence tiles, which are decreasing the movement cost of these ocean tiles, are going to move. Weather moves through the water over time. But we'll try to run away. We'll see if we can escape enough for him to lose track of me, or at least not attack me. Because it sure would be nice if I got to that ruin. Okay, there we go. That ruin was actually pretty good. Alright, 4 more turns to Dust-Driven Distillery, and at this point... Oh, hey. I get to build more districts, alright. Yeah, that doesn't actually help us very much. Okay, there's one tile there that I'm not exploiting that is getting the benefit of the pillars, so may as well build here. I guess rush this out. Let's finish that stockpile and start work on a new one. Then we'll buy that other stockpile that's on the market next turn. But at this point, there's not a lot we can do that will still have an effect because of the fact that there are so few total turns left in the game. Oh, also, I was going to check in on the graphs. Totally forgot. Show me the boats. Go, 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 go. Please get away. Okay, some more turbulence moved into place here. We almost make it to freedom. These guys have 4 move left, so actually they can just attack me. Ah, they've moved away. So we will get our ruin. That's pretty cool. Oh man, maybe I'm going to look like an idiot. We are actually going to make it too. Inspirational leader. I guess I'm buying out expensive stuff in that city. Yep, in fact, we totally would have. You know, in last episode, I remember saying last episode, hey, we should probably go in that direction anyway, because the benefit here is pretty small. And then I waffled. Which always seems like an inappropriate term for the thing it is, because usually the result of waffling is bad, but waffles are so good. And now I want waffles. Alright, focus. I gotta focus. So at some point here, it makes sense to just drop pillars, I guess? I'm not really sure how best to make use of the amount of dust that we have coming in here. But yeah, like the efficiency, the dust per pillar output is pretty bad right now. And dropping pillars at this moment, of course, means that we're desyncing our pillar collection, and when this group of pillars ends, it will be way more expensive to replace it. Like, the question is, do I think I'm going to get another turn's worth of research out of dropping pillars at 2,000 or more dust each? These things have a ton of time left on them. So we could just sit on a whole bunch. I guess it doesn't really make sense to drop a pillar like one pillar right now. I should wait a little bit and let us build up some more dust, and then just, if I'm going to do this thing, I should drop a secondary pack, I suppose. Oh, we should definitely go buy the stockpile. Make sure we keep those running. Yeah, man, what is the best way to use this dust that we have access to now? I could trade it for stuff, but, like, what? What do I need? What would be beneficial to even have? He doesn't have any luxuries that we don't have. We could buy pearls off of him. I have 1 pearl right now, so that's not even a building. And honestly, I'm not sure that it's good to pick up techs because of the amount by which they will increase the cost of the technologies we have left to research. Like, I don't want to add turns. So plowing dust into science stockpiles is valuable as long as we are not running into science stockpiles all the way to the end of the game already. But aside from that, I'm not really sure what to do with it all. Like, finishing that is okay. That does something. It's not literally nothing, so that's where the bar is right now. I guess we should buy his pearls. Let's see how much he would sell them for. More than all of my dust. In fact, it's not at all trivial to get a hold of these pearls. We can trade him a couple of techs. You know, we should probably wait until they're actually going to be enough to make a building happen. Just so that I don't overpay for pearls and then have to overpay for pearls again in the near future. We can consolidate the overspend a little bit. Although I guess I could make it not really even overspending, because we could use some of our dust and then also Arts Council. Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. Because we could pay for them pretty close to exactly. Okay, we got 50 Dust Orchid, which is exactly enough to run the booster. And hey, look at that. 20% more science. That may not be enough to take a turn off of this tech. It might be enough to take a turn off of some others. People are being born. The population has grown to an odd number. And we ran out of Red Sang, and I do want the Red Sang to keep running. Tinu the Chosen, at the very least, gets some serious value out of leveling up still. That's not the button I want at all. Here we go. 22,000 is pretty good. We're probably still looking at a turn like 131 victory or something, though. Oh, this is the ruin that I was supposed to search for the Ursus to find that lost sheep. We could do that, I guess. There's not a lot of value in it at this point. Also, I failed a quest. Ah, yes, that's true. I did not go to war with another empire. I would never. I have such a peaceful demeanor. Sometimes when you repeatedly click on your destination, they teleport part of the way, but not usually all of the way. Okay, 40 mithrite. I mean, it's dust, right? It is not nothing. What does it cost to rush a science stockpile? A lot. It's actually very expensive. Okay, well, these buildings have non-zero value here. I'm just going to let those get finished. This city's actually in position to get a lot of industry out of those, and it will help me to produce stockpiles. That city is actually producing them at a reasonable rate. I do wish that there was, like, a progress bar, because, like, 17 turns left to build in this city means that it's this % completed, but it doesn't mean that everywhere. And the ones that are closer to completion are cheaper to buy out. It'll be good information to have straight up. Also, apparently, I have a district available here. Well, that looks like a pretty good place to build it. Yeah, okay, here. 25 more science. Throw it on the pile. Okay, so next turn we have the dust to rush out another science stockpile. I should be keeping track. Should have been keeping track. Is there an easy way to check how many stockpiles I have queued up on something? I don't believe there is. And we don't really get a breakdown of our science output, right? Like, I could look at all my cities and just, like, do the math, but I'm not going to do that. Also, 6,300 science out of Enolia. And our second city, which I thought was doing pretty well, is actually just, like, right in the pack. I really thought it was going to be, like, this one way ahead, this one a little bit ahead, and then the others following sort of closely behind. Also, now, while I'm remembering it, let's take a quick look at the graphs. This is probably the last time we'll need to do this. Actually, this is the part we care about. So, green has moved up to 17 regions, still nowhere near an expansion victory. The economic victory is actually going to pink, but slowly. They're only outpacing us by a tiny bit. Like I said, we take the top of diplomatic. At this rate, it would take them quite a long time to win that dust victory. It's hard to say how long, because the dust curve of a person who's winning the dust victory tends to look like this. There's going to be a sharp upslope somewhere, and he maybe has not reached it yet, but he's definitely far out, like really far out. So with all this money, I probably do just put down a bunch more pillars, right? Like, what are the odds that we're going to be able to actually take turns off of this? We're about 2/3 of the way through. So we would expect there to be like 34,000-ish science left in this thing. And we're doing 22,000 per turn. And I don't have a great sense of how much science is going to be added to the cost of each of these as we complete them, which means that unfortunately I can't even really estimate how much science we would need to gain to reduce our total research time by a turn. I do think we're going to be here for longer than 7 turns, though. So maybe we just bank until the pillars run out and then lay down the most pillars anyone's ever seen. I'm going to let this build up for another turn or two. And then I think probably we do just lay down another huge pack of pillars all at once. Although I guess I'm thinking that laying down a pack of pillars all at once is a better cost strategy than laying them down individually. Because if you lay them down individually, right, you have to pay the cost of your full number of pillars each time you want to refresh one of them. But the moment I think we have 10 or fewer turns left in the game, cost strategy becomes irrelevant. Hold on, we'll figure this out in a second. So I'm cool with this. I mean, we could do that, but I'm not running any of my boosters solely for approval. Like, all of them are actually doing something. So we don't quite have the influence for this, and I don't care about anything else. It's a pretty big gain between those two. Yeah, I think this is our Empire plan, and we just have a bunch of influence left over. Vision is cool. Can't quite go to here. I mean, I guess the influence has no value to us, so we may as well do this. Yeah, the influence is of actual 0 value. Okay, Uridan, Oleran, and Holkaj all get to build new districts. Cool. So what makes the most sense? Here we get to build out into 3 forest tiles. Yep, that's it. That's the one. This is only 17. This is 17, but it lets me build the cargo dock, but that doesn't actually help us that much. Yep, just give me more science. I'll tell you what, we are never, ever going to have difficulty staying fervent now with the Empire plan that we just took. 24 more science. I could put this right here and it would instantly level up, but I don't think that's actually that valuable. And then what was the other one? Holkaj. Okay. Holkaj is in a nice high science area. So 24, 18, I think the 24 has probably got it. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where we're getting more than that. Gonna check the market, keep looking for stockpiles. And then, so with Dust-Driven Distillery finishing, we're probably looking at roughly 12 more turns. My big concern is that if I lay down some pillars now, we're going to be able to get, fewer than 5 pillars, right? But then when these all end in 5 turns, 6 turns, it's going to cost a whole lot more to put this pack back down than it would if we didn't do this. Then again, with Dust-Driven Distillery about to finish, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we're going to have so much money that we don't know what to do with it. I think actually that might be the case. Let's just drop pillars. Let's just go nuts here. So anywhere that we have the ability to put them down near 2 districts. And then I probably should be diligently selling off resources. We're just going to commit all the way here. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, that this is going to result in us having even a single extra turn off of our cooldown, because honestly, the value of the pillars is pretty small relative to the amounts of science that we're producing through other means. But the value of the dust is actually 0, so... Well, it's not 0. There are stockpiles to rush, right? And the value of the stockpiles is low, but again, non-zero. Oh good, a quest. A lust for loot. Well... Hold on. I didn't actually look at where the ruin was. You know what? Lust for Loot's worth doing. Okay, we have somebody near that. You turn around. We can just buy a new hero, right? Like, next turn. Buy any hero. Actually, any hero. Clip them onto this army, and then we just try to lust for loot. Because who knows? We might get some really valuable stuff out of it. Sometimes there is some really valuable stuff available. I'm concerned that if we do this, Green's going to get mad, but also, I guess at this point, our relationship with Green is not providing huge benefits to us anymore. That's kind of a crappy way to think about your relationship with somebody, but if they want to come along with the victory, or on the victory, they should stay allied with us, and if they don't, then that is their problem. Pretty much. That's where we're at. Oh, that was searchable again. I haven't actually searched all these. A remarkable number of them are empty. Like, a lot of them. Super weird, actually. The Delivering Staff. Okay, that's a pretty good staff. It's expensive. So, we are actually at 1,500, which is still not enough to hire a hero, right? Yeah, it's enough to hire some of these heroes. Okay, I mean, you have 6 natural movement. That'll do. Let's equip our new hero with a movement trinket and then snap them to that army. I don't think there's anything else I could equip him with that would matter. I don't know. Maybe this is going to turn out not to be worth anything. 40 Titan Bones, 60 Palladian. Once again, not actually looking at where the ruin is. Okay, that's far away. It's not that far. It turns out. It's actually pretty close. Okay, and at this point, trading for pearls with you gets me another building, so I should... Oh, you spent your pearls. No, you didn't. They're on the table already. Actually, the cost of getting 8 pearls from you has really decreased. You don't have boarding vessel tech, really? Okay. Can I get from you like a whole bunch of moonleaf? How much moonleaf is this? Because this influence has no value to us, but like not having to buy moonleaf has some value. We are in the land of low value plays. That's where we live now. Okay, so now that we have that, what is a region with 2 villages? The number of villages is included here. Oleran. Oleran is a place where it would be beneficial to me to build a chapel. I do not have the money to rush this chapel. That's ridiculous. Of course I do. How much of this moonleaf do we actually need? In 5 turns, we're going to have 83 moonleaf, so I can sell 33 of it. We can sell most of what we got from him. We only really needed 10. That didn't actually get me there. Well, I certainly don't need all of these Titan Bones either. I know, the tiny optimizations here. In 7 turns, we're going to have 126 Titan Bones. Wow. We're really bringing in a lot of Titan Bones per turn. We can actually sell almost all of these. But I really only need to make it to 800 or to 400 dust, right? There we go. Okay. Hey, look at that. We're using our money for stuff. And now our income doubles. Well, it won't actually double, right? Because it's stacking additively with our other percentage increases. I was expecting it to go up by more than 1,000, though. Did we lose a booster at the same time or something? Okay, it did go up by more than 1,000. Just barely. Alright, this... Oh, the new Zarcha Ethanol. I mean, 8 science is fine. Lots of important stuff done. Endless alloys will, if nothing else, help us build stockpiles faster. And that's really all we can hope for at this point. And you are kind of out of stuff to do. I guess just go home? Okay, I failed the quest to defeat that pirate captain. Somebody else killed him. I mean, I don't really care about that. And also, do I need to kill them personally? Isn't it good enough for them to just be dead? Alright, I'm usually pretty happy to see Lust for Loot. Obviously, at this point in the game, it has pretty minimal value. Even more science. Just keep making science forever. So right now we're on track for a turn 130, 131 victory. 131, probably. Maybe even 132. It's not bad. It's not a bad pace. But I'm wondering if we're going to have to, you know, crank it up in future games. Because again, it may be the case that the 118 victory was anomalously fast. In fact, I would go so far as to say it is almost certain. But what we're seeing here from the AI may be anomalously slow. So it's hard to judge. I guess we're going to have to play a few more games before we ever really have a good sense of it. I have 7,000 dust. Put down more pillars. The next pillar would be 4,500. Those are getting expensive. And like the value per pillar is the same, right? So we're paying a lot more dust per science at this point. Like a lot more. As these get closer to ending, we probably want to stop doing this so that we can replace them all. In fact, this turn might be the turn to stop doing it, because they're going to have, after we actually pass over here, we're going to have 3 turns left on the pillars. At this point, the AI's turns are going to start being a lot longer than our own. Which means we may actually have a significant amount of time left in this video. I'm not going to end this video before the game ends. We will start a new game on Monday. But this one might drag a little bit. Okay, regeneration on units is reduced. Oh no, whatever shall we do? Also, green pushed us all the way back to Cold War, which means that our units in their territory are no longer safe. But also, who cares? Like, oh no, my units might die. That seems very spiteful, because they're probably not going to be able to affect my ability to end the game at this point. I guess, like, if they showed up in force on our shores, it wouldn't be great. And admit, I knew they were not going to love me taking the pearls. I'm surprised that they turned on me quite so much. But they could have also technically won the game. Let's, real quick, what's your diplomatic standing right now? Still at war with blue, so probably too busy to fight me. Also, it's winter, we have been informed. By the changing colors of the Alai. Well, you can grab us some pearls real quick before you come home. That is just 1 pearl over there. Probably not worth going to get. But we have now another building's worth of pearls. Wait, does Daramard have 3 villages but not a chapel? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Well, that'll help quite a bit. And then we should probably, like, rush one of these. Get another one going. Honestly... Well, hold on. I should check the marketplace. Okay, well, industry stockpiles are still worth picking up because they'll help us make science stockpiles. So, like, where are we kind of close? I'm going to rush that one out. And then we're going to apply stockpiles to Redalta. Put this in the queue here. Because at this point, we should be able to run a science stockpile every turn for the rest of the game, I think. And Uriden's is sort of close. Good enough. Yeah, I think we have enough science that it should be reasonable for us to... Or enough stockpiles that it should be reasonable for us to get through the rest of the game. Oh, right, I forgot about praying. So we did lose some... We did lose some dust here. I don't think it affects your science output. No, it totally does. Yeah, okay. That forgetting to pray and change the winter effect there did cost us science. I don't know if it's going to cost us a turn, but it was certainly not great. Also, man, we lost a lot of dust when we lost our trade routes with green. That said, again, we're kind of beyond caring about it, I think. You, I believe, will never take another important skill point. Oh, hey, yeah, new hero. I don't know, man. Okay, just keep producing stockpiles. So we are probably 5 to 6 turns away from the end of the game now. We have 3 stockpiles queued up. We definitely don't want to spend any dust on anything right now, because our pillars are about to run out and we want to replace them. We did it. We got all this stuff that we can sell in a moment. And then, since they already don't like us, let's go steal all their pearls. Right, at this point it doesn't matter. So we have 3 turns of science stockpiles queued up. We're 5 turns out from a victory. We're going to get another stockpile next turn, stockpile the turn after that. So yeah, I think we're cool on those. Those are running all the way out to the end. A turn 131 victory is not terrible. By my memory of the speed of victories here. But we could definitely have done this faster. If we had expanded out beyond 10 territories, like I said, it would have allowed us to do a lot more. And see, this is what I was worried about. We actually gained a turn on our tech when pillars ended, and the pillars are so expensive that it's not easy to replace all the ones we put down. I think I was right in the first place not to put them down, but I also think that passing the turn with 10,000 dust would have made people shout at me in the comments. And sometimes I let concern about whether people are going to shout at me in the comments derail me from doing things that I'm pretty sure are right. So let's sell all of the superfluous resources. Anything that we have popped, anything that has less than 6 turns on it is in that superfluous camp. And we can actually spend boosters right now. We don't need spices anymore. I'm going to go ahead and run the dyes again, and then we can just sell all of the luxuries that we have left. That already said 10. Okay. So, to continue with the pillar placement. Okay, that's what we get. It's fewer. But at this point in the game, now that we have nothing else going on, all of our dust goes to pillars. We just place pillars forever. We'll be able to get these back up slowly here. And I think our pillars are slightly less effective during the winter than they are during the summer, so that also has an effect. The dust, water, and grass silk ran out. I guess that's a problem. It's not that much of a problem, actually. Alright, Tinu gets to gain 5% science output. Hooray! You get back in that garrison. I'm going to grab these pearls, and then I think we're going to sell this unit to enable me to just real quick go to the marketplace and get the dust water running again. Oh, I'm being spied on. Enolia is getting population decreases. Man, that's a good way to hurt us. And you just run around stealing his pearls now? Yeah, there's not really a lot of value in me having a unit over here. I wasn't really thinking about that, but it could just be the hero, right? So we're going to finish 2 more stockpiles this turn. Seeing our victory slowly slip away. Getting slower and slower. Winter's about to end, though. That'll help. Enolia is actually better at building during the winter than it is during the summer, due to the winter burrow, but when we lose the reduction of trade route value effect from the winter ending, that'll be nice. Yeah, I would have been able to have 2 points into inspirational leadership. That's a shame. Okay, here we get to make a burrow. And a chapel. And a stockpile. Did any of the other cities... Nope. I don't know how I missed that, the birth in Kentamis in the first place. Okay, I said all of our dust was going to be going toward putting down pillars, and then I spent a lot of it on a lot of other things. We should be able to put a pillar down this turn, though, right? Yeah, we're at 3501, and this is only 3075. So there's still places where we can put down pillars. Like, this is a... Actually, this location should have been earlier, because we're actually exploiting all of those tiles. Alright, the dust orchid ran out, and there's nothing we can do about that. The red sang ran out, and I think it's probably not even actually worth popping again. So it would be over 500 dust, and like the odds of us getting another hero level are actually pretty small. Sure, retreat. They're gonna kill my hero. That's my my pearl stealing hero. That's pretty whatever. All they had to do was be cool. And they could have won the game. They would have been able to brag to all their other computer friends. And that's right, I beat the player. I did it. It'd be like something you'd seen in an episode of Reboot. But no, they had to get spiteful. So 132 is looking like the actual turn of victory here. I think it's a reasonable rate, and again, it could have been faster. My play is still resharpening. There are still a remarkable number of things that I apparently forgot. Don't get the aw. Alright. We are defeated. You did it. You got me. So I'm excited to see, over the course of the rest of the series, we're still planning to win a game with each faction. I'm excited to see if how much I can beat this by. The amount of time that it takes you to win a more external victory is going to be more variable, right? If you're conquering other players, there are a lot of things that can affect your victory speed, but internal victories are usually fairly comparable. Not that things are not variable with the internal victory, because of course, your territory is going to have a big effect on it, and the way the other players treat you is going to have an effect on it. Multiple players now ganging up on me to decrease the population of Enolia. I mean, it's the right move. They want to win the game. This is what they got to do. Unfortunately, They needed to just start doing it probably like 30 turns ago. But I guess what I'm saying is I treat the internal victory timers as kind of like a high score chart, and I am eager to see if I can score higher. Also, this pillar has literally no value because we can't win the game this turn anyway, but I'm still going to put it down because it's so beautiful. Pillars for everyone. All the good pillar spots are used. Here's a bad pillar spot. That'll do. Okay, so on the final turn of the game, we have only 18,000 science. Again, like you know, winter and the dust orchid wearing off and stuff. Losing our trade routes did hurt. I guess I should have thought of that before taking pearls in green's territory. Like, me being allied with green actually was helping. I probably lost a turn by doing that. But in the end, the effect is fairly minor. And hey, it didn't take that long to get through these last few turns at all. So, obviously, we're about to see the victory screen here. We can look at the graphs and comfort ourselves with the knowledge that we managed to beat computers at a task that is extremely complex and difficult for them. Let me know in the comments down below who you would like to see us play as this next week coming up. The only people that are off the table are the necrophages, because we already got a victory with them. I'd like to get a victory with each faction before the end of the series. So yeah, go nuts. Let me know what you want to see. Let's take a quick look at some of these score charts, though. I do think it's interesting that green, like, it is always the case in 4X games that the AI is not really playing to win. I don't necessarily think it should be that way, but that's the way it is, right? They have personalities and they're trying to accomplish certain goals. And even when they're programmed to be difficult, they're not trying to win, because winning is a very complex thing to try to explain to a computer. So, you know, they're trying to, like, let's increase the numbers in kind of an abstract way and stuff. But I wonder if it would be actually beneficial to the game to have had green programmed in a way where, like, they could see that science victory was going to happen and they knew that staying allied was a way for them to win the game, or whether the effect of that would be that once the player pulls ahead, all of the AIs just ally with them and try to do nothing to disrupt. Might make the game very easy if the AI understood how shared victory worked. So obviously, we pulled ahead a little bit here. I do think it's interesting that despite green being massively ahead on territory, they were not ahead on score. Damn, pink was really arming up toward the end there. And green was actually not ahead. They were ahead on they were ahead on regions, but they were not ahead on districts. Look at how relatively few districts they have. They had, what, 50% more territory than we did? And they still had, like, considerably fewer districts. It's a strange thing. I guess, you know why? I'm remembering now. The Alayi districts require pearls to build. That's why. They are just very limited. But yeah, you can see we're pretty competitive on a lot of the metrics. We were competitive on some of the metrics for a while. But score, just not a good indicator of how the game is going, which maybe means that this should be retooled. Hopefully in the next game, they'll put a little bit more thought into that. So anyway, that's going to be it for us for today, for the week. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We're starting a new game on Endless with the community patch with a new faction, and we'll see you then.